This tutorial looks at the Facebook algorithm. Well, what exactly does that mean? That means the algorithm is the piece of software, the piece of code that decides which post you see, which one is on top, which one is next, and so on. So it looks at the weighting of posts, and it uses three factors which we'll discuss. So what percentage of your followers see your Facebook posts? Well, that's always a debate that you see knocking around Facebook on a regular basis, and they're telling you to change certain things and so on. But let's have a quick look here. The organic Facebook reach over the last number of years has dropped from 5.4% to 1.2%. Now we must also remember that the number of posts on Facebook are growing, and the number of people using Facebook are growing. So this was bound to happen, but it just means that what we want is as high a percentage of our users seeing our posts as possible. So the average daily reach is going up, as you can see. So this is a good thing, but it also means more competition.
People come to Facebook to connect with the people who matter to them. And over the next year, our team's mission is to help you have deeper, more meaningful interactions with people you care about. We use a process called ranking to determine which posts show up in your newsfeed and in what order, based on what we think you'll be most interested in. A like, comment, or share is one sign that a post matters to you, so posts you're likely to interact with generally get higher ranking scores. Now, we'll also consider whether a potential interaction is between two people or between a person and a page, which are the accounts run by businesses, organizations, and public figures. Person to person will be more valuable than person to page. Connections with people in your network will get the biggest boost because interacting with people you're close to is more meaningful. We're also going to prioritize exchanges that reflect more time and care.
Interacting with people, like having a conversation or reminiscing about things you've shared, is associated with a greater sense of well-being. And the benefits are even stronger when you're close to the person and when the interaction requires some effort. For example, typing out a long and thoughtful reply to a friend's post. On the other hand, just scrolling through your Facebook feed, passively reading or watching without interacting with others tends to make people feel worse.
Over time, we believe people will see more posts from people they're connected to and less content from publishers. We also expect overall time spent on Facebook to go down, but our goal is that the time people do spend on Facebook will be better. Facebook was built to connect you to the stories and people that matter most, so we're going to keep listening to you and working hard to make sure that's what you see every day.
Okay, so we're after seeing for the first time what page Facebook EdgeRank is. And it talks about the three different factors that influence rank, and that's affinity, weight, and time decay. What we don't know is we don't know the weighting of these different factors. So, when you look at affinity, when you look at weight, when you look at time decay, it depends on all three of them together. Okay. Now, affinity is the ratio that describes your relationship with the brand. Now, what this means is if, for instance, you were really, engaged with a brand, and every time they put out a post, you liked it, you shared it, you commented on it, well, that would increase your affinity with that brand. If, for instance, you only did it from time to time, well, then your affinity would be lower. When your affinity is high, it means that there's more likelihood of the next post appearing very high up on your feed. So that's really what we're talking about with affinity, and it's a very simple thing. So really what you need is people engaging with you. You need people liking and sharing and so on. Weight is simply defined as the value of your type of content. Okay, all content is not valued equally. So we notice already that the images are viewed higher than text and so on. Okay, so here's an idea of what the breakdown is. Your native photograph, ones that you actually post yourself and that are embedded in your actual posts, are seen as the highest native video and photographs. Okay, links are next. External video, so links to video on YouTube, etc. So native means embedded in Facebook are weighted higher than ones that are YouTube and Vimeo. And then finally, you've got text posts. Now, we're not trying to dismiss text posts, but this is just a hierarchy that it looks at when you're dealing with weight. Then you got looks at post interaction. So they weight posts higher if there's a lot of sharing, commenting, liking, and clicking on it. So it's all about trying to, garner more engagement. The more engagement that you have with the higher quality, content will create, your positioning higher on the actual, on the feed. So it's all about trying to create good quality content using, video and images, and then trying to get people to engage with you. Finally, how old is your post? Now, this is quite common that we expect an older post to be lower down or disappearing off the end of our feed and so on. But there are other things which influence this, and obviously the affinity and the weight. And if somebody keeps commenting on it, it gets higher. The time decay is not as much. Okay, so the two things that it looks at here is how long has it been since your last interaction with the site, okay, and the period of time since the post was published. Now they're very, very important, okay. So again, it comes back to time decay is not viewed in isolation. It's also linked with affinity and weight. So some things we got to look at. And then finally, when we're looking at Facebook examples, I implore everyone to have a look at the Facebook examples that are on the website. And they're also up on Dropbox. And here's one from last year, and they look at hidden gems, Ireland's hidden gems, and some of the posts here are excellent, and Unique Dublin and Fit Quals. Now, some of these are examples we've seen before when we were looking at other channels. So you can see that the quality of content is good. You can see here that they've got very good profile pictures and very good header photographs up here. And you've also seen that they're using the stories well, and they're using the community as well, and they're talking about these, and their content, and even the engagement here where they have like built-in quizzes and so on their actual Facebook pages. So it's all about these three things that we're talking about here: affinity, weight, and time. Okay, so keep those in mind, and hopefully we'll all work out very well on the Facebook platform.